GTA new condo sales fell to a 20-year low. This begs the question, is pre-construction still worth it today in 2023? Happy Monday, welcome back to another video. My name is Vic, I'm a realtor here in Toronto in the GTA, and I help people buy and sell real estate. I appreciate you watching, and if you've learned anything today, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like, it really helps me out. If you have any questions about what we're talking about today, or just want to chat about real estate in general, you can click the first link in the description to book a call with me at a time that works for you. Let's jump into the video. All right, let's get one thing out of the way really quickly. Regardless of what's happening in the market, unless you're getting a crazy assignment deal, pre-construction will always be more expensive than resale, and the investment strategy for pre-construction hinges on appreciation. This is the number one thing you have to understand when you're investing in pre-construction. The main reason it's expensive is that developers need to turn a profit, and right now they're getting screwed by the government on development charges. Those development charges are ultimately passed down to the end consumer, which are you and me. This is still really wild to me because developers are really the only ones who are still bringing the supply, and they're being punished for doing that. Anyways, this isn't about developers. This is about the article that came out and that said new condo sales fell to a 20-year low. It makes sense. The resale market isn't the only market that's being affected by the crazy slowdown because of the high rates. Everyone is being super cautious with their investments right now. The article also talks about that between July and December, there was a 68% decline in sales. The number is actually on par with the 2008 financial crisis. It takes time for the dust to settle. Last year was a wild ride, so people just need time to adjust. I think this number should be better this year because everyone will have adjusted to the new rates. But as we move through the year and the inflation number hopefully goes down, you're going to see an uptick in sales for sure. The article also talks about how the gap between new condos and resale is now the highest it's ever been. Average condo prices fell 14% last year and were down 3% annually. This caused the gap to be around $580 per square foot. Going back to my original point, new condos will always be more than resale. So, is buying pre-construction in 2023 still worth it? The answer to this is not a simple yes or no, it depends on your goals. If you're looking into pre-construction right now, you're buying for two reasons. You're either an end user who's going to live in it, or you're an investor who's going to rent it out. So, if you're an end user, your closing costs are going to be much different versus if you're an investor. This should be your first indication of whether or not you're going to be buying pre-construction in the first place. You're not going to be paying HST on closing if you're an end user, and you're going to be paying a lot of taxes if you're an investor. When you're an investor, you do get a rebate provided that you have a 1-year lease in place. Both ways though, you are going to be responsible for development charges, which are usually capped at some value, and you have to pay your land transfer tax. So please keep in mind all your closing costs when you decide to buy pre-construction. The second thing to consider is the type of project and the area it's coming in. Regardless if you're an end user or investor, you always have to look at the area. You want that closing price, which is in 4 or 5 years down the line, to be higher than what you purchased for, regardless of your goals. And that is going to highly depend on the type of project and the area it's coming in. I'll tell you what I mean. There's different types of projects you can invest in. So starting off, there's boutique buildings, okay? A boutique building is going to be like a mid-rise, 8 floors, have less units, more community oriented. Then you're going to have something called a high-rise building, which is your typical lot of units, a lot of floors. Then you have something called a master planned community, which is usually a bunch of buildings with mixed-use spaces like retail on the ground floor. It'll have condos, it'll have shared green spaces, parks, lots of more stuff. And when it comes to the area, you have to see if the area is developed or whether it's still developing. Is there new transit coming to the area? Is there a new highway extension? Is there a new school? What's the infrastructure like? Are there new jobs? There's a lot to look at. If you're an investor, you're obviously going to look at the resale values, But you also have to look at how many rental units were available and have these increased or decreased over the past few years. This will show you the demand for your project. Now, the other new construction you can invest in is low-rise. This is a detached, this is your semi-detached, this is your townhome, stuff like that. This is where I would be personally more cautious to buy right now. I'm not a huge fan of the products coming to the market because of the prices, and they still have room to go down. It's a shorter closing period as well. Typically, it's 1 to 2 years, and this is where most of the trouble is in today's market. There's articles coming out and protests happening at builder office sites because people who bought at the peak of the market, they can't close on their purchase price because of the new appraisals. And please, I'm warning you right now, I'm telling you, do not expect to flip your purchase. If you're buying to assign, then this is the worst investment strategy ever. Please buy with the intention to close and hold for the long term. People who purchase on speculations are the ones who are getting burnt right now. And I'm telling you, don't do it, please. So whether or not it's still a good option in 2023 to buy pre-construction, again, all depends on what your goals are. This is where I started my career as an agent, and I still love pre-construction. I'm not the agent who pushes every single project because it just doesn't make sense to do that. Always run your numbers and let that be the final decision maker. If you want someone to break a project down for you and run numbers, let me know. You can click the first link in the description and call me at a time that works for you, and we can break it all down. If you have any questions regarding the pre-construction market, leave them below and I'll address them in a video, or I'll just comment back to that. I do plan on making a longer video in the future breaking down how to invest in pre-construction from start to finish. If you learned something new today, then drop a sub, like the video, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.